Well, welcome everyone. This is the opening week of the 2010 ETBU volleyball season. We are here for what's going to be our weekly chat with Coach Lyndsay Mashe, and just to talk about some of the things that go on the week before and some things coming up on this week. Of course, with it being the season opener on Thursday night, Coach Mashe, obviously we don't have anything to talk about much other than what you've seen in practice. So first of all, just kind of talk to us a little bit about your feelings for this team that you have, a very young team, but just what you've seen from them in practice, some of the positive things that you're looking forward to.
Well, so far in my 5 years that I've been here, this has been the hardest, most intense group of girls as a whole that I've had. They have come in every practice and have just worked really hard. We've had the best inter-squad scrimmages we've had. Everybody's really working hard and fighting for a spot. And nothing's set. We're still trying to make decisions where we're going to put people, and that's an exciting thing that everybody can work to have a spot out there. So,
what have you seen maybe that has surprised you a little bit, maybe about this group, either from your returners or the new girls coming in?
Right.
Maybe that you weren't expecting a couple of weeks ago and were kind of maybe worried about, but you've been pleasantly surprised,
yeah.
I guess.
I was just a little bit worried about the freshmen coming in and kind of taking a backseat role and not feeling like they can come in and step up, but that hasn't been the case this year, and it has been in years past. Freshmen kind of feeling like they have to take a backseat role, and these girls are all coming in and talking and feel like they can be leaders out there, and that's a good thing. That's what we needed.
Kind of talking about chemistry a little bit. How big is that? And you hear about that a lot, but how big is that, particularly in volleyball, do you think?
It's
with
huge.
It being just a tight-knit
Right,
group?
it's huge. It's real important. You have 6 players out in a small area, and if at any point we're not in sync, you can tell. And these girls right now are really getting along, and they're working well together and are very supportive of each other, and that's exciting. I hope it maintains through the season.
Well, obviously your veteran leaders probably could be described as Nicole Vanderline, and then you have basically it's her and everyone else as far as playing time. Talk about the importance of having Nicole, who actually has played a couple of full seasons for you here, and her leadership ability.
Yeah, Nicole's doing a really good job. She's always worked hard. She worked hard as a freshman, just gave 110% all the time. And with her doing that every practice, day in and day out, and expecting others to do that, that's been a big thing. I think they're following that. Okay, we've got to give this as well. She is. So she's demanding that of everybody. And then we also have Keely returning that is she's always been a great teammate since she's been here, and she's really holding people accountable, and that's the biggest thing we need from our upperclassmen, is to hold everybody accountable. But we've then in turn, they have asked the freshmen to hold them accountable, which I think is a big thing also, that everybody's working to hold each other accountable. So
you mentioned Keely. She plays up on the front line as one of your hitters, and she is one of those girls who has some experience here. How do you expect the others, maybe some new faces, to fit in around her? I know you've got a couple of returners there, one of which is Amy Wooten, who played a little bit last year as a freshman. Just talk a little bit about your front line. I know you lost a lot of firepower from last year's team with Courtney Adams and Jane Hayes and Mary Morgan Swanson. But anyway, just kind of talk about how you feel about your offense at this point.
Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with where we're at right now. Amy I knew she had a lot of potential, and she can jump really well, and she has come out to practice this year and she's stepped up a lot. I feel that she's going to do really great things for us this season. We also have Carrie Kalina, who is a sophomore this year, that's looking at playing middle for us this year, and she's really got a lot of power and or just not necessarily power, but she's very smart out there on the floor and is an intense player as well. So she's going to do some things for us. And then we've got a couple of freshmen that are battling for spots on the front line. We've got a big 6-foot kid, Ashley Lindsay, who's looking at outside for us this year and is just doing a great job out there as well. So I think, as far as losing what we lost, I think we're replacing them, and they're working hard. So I'm excited to see what they do for us.
Talk a little bit about setter. Obviously replacing your setter. Brittany Herbert was setter last year, but you're having to replace her. Just talk about the young girls that you brought in that position.
Yeah, we have two competing for that spot, one that's 5'9" and one that's a little bit shorter, but it's looking like right now Brienne's kind of the front runner for running the floor as of right now because of consistency, and she's just really very even keel out there and makes a lot of smart decisions, and I like the way she's leading as a freshman, and but just watching in our inter squad scrimmages, she's making smart choices at smart time, at key times, and a lot of times I'm thinking things in my mind and she's doing them prior to me even saying it. So that's a good thing that we're on the same page.
Good feeling as a coach and former setter.
Yes, for sure.
Obviously, opening the season this week, you got St. Thomas here at home Thursday night, and then you go play a little tournament up in Irving at University of Dallas. Just kind of talk about some things you're going to be looking for in those few opening games this week.
We've talked a lot about we have to be a very consistent team out there. The team that makes a lot of mistakes usually isn't going to win. So I'm looking for them to come out, and we've got to get rid of our nerves a little bit because I think we're going to have a lot of that. But once we get going, I'm expecting to see them just kind of, get out there and really just get some experience on the floor together as a team and work through the little things right now before we get into conference play, because there's going to be some things we got to work through. So,
well, good luck this week, and
thank you.
We'll see you next week.